Comic books were never supposed to look like this. For decades, comic books were disposable, cheap little pamphlets, printed on terrible paper. You read them once, maybe twice, and you moved on. But somewhere along the way, Marvel and DC accidentally transformed comics into something completely different. And this week, we bought a massive collection from artist Daryl Young, filled with exactly the kind of books that changed the industry forever. All this and much more on this week's episode of the CheddarVerse. Welcome into CheddarVerse. We are in episode 12. Thank you for being here. I am Chris at Cheddar_Comics on Instagram. Be sure to be following me if you want to be joining live sales. Check out some clips, stories, all the cool stuff. Is that a good amalgam of
what you do?
What I do on there?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Be sure to be following me on Instagram for our live sales. And I am here today with the Robin to my Batman. It's Mrs. Cheddar Comics.
Oh, man. Robin.
I'm definitely Batman. I mean,
try again.
No, it's definitely the right. I thought about it. I was driving today and I was like, I'm definitely Batman. It's my Bat Cave. It's my Batmobile.
That's fine.
You're in the car with me. I need you, and you bring a lot of light to my life.
You know what? I think
it balances me out, but you're definitely Robin.
I think I'm more like an Alfred.
Alfred? Bring me soup.
Yeah, I'll bring you your cold soup. Stay at the house.
The Alfred to my Batman, it's Mrs. Cheddar Comics.
Hi, everybody.
Be sure to be following her on Instagram at Mrs. Cheddar_Comics for most likely a Wonder Woman post.
I need to do something different. I realize that, yes.
Okay. That's all right.
My whole post is like mostly Wonder Woman.
That's great. Post what you love.
Yeah.
We are Cheddar Comics. We buy and sell comics full time. We're just past our 4-year anniversary. If you're listening to us, we thank you so much for listening or watching on YouTube. And be sure to, if you can, especially on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Apple, please, please, please leave us a review. We just got review bombed with a nice 2-star review. Somebody hates the show. So if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review. We would love to hear from you.
To say you love it.
or whatever. You don't have to write that. Or if you're following on Spotify, be sure to follow, rate on there. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you're subbing and all that good stuff. We have so much to get to today. We have 2 segments and a new segment at the end, Collector Corner. So let's get right into Tales from the Sales. Mm-hmm. This is Tales from the Sales. So this week's Tales from the Sales, we're a couple weeks past our empty shelving episode.
Oh, thank God.
And we're in a new period, which again, if you miss, I think it's episode 10, we talked about how we don't have any inventory and we're empty and our shelves are gone. And then we got the Golden Age collection. And now we have like an enormous collection. A very unique collection for Cheddar Comics. When we got our drought, we worked on trying to expand what we wanted to buy. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously, if you got Golden Age, I'm there. But, we're trying to be more open to other things, especially books and trades and hardcovers. So our friend, artist Daryl Young, you may have seen, I'm sure you've seen one of his pieces if you're listening or watching online somewhere over the years.
Kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. So, I mean, I see sometimes I will type in, Metamorpho.
Oh.
I'm looking for a picture of Metamorpho. You go to Google Images and I'll see Daryl's drawing of Metamorpho or whoever, and Daryl and I became friends a couple years ago. He was a vendor at the Madison Comic Con.
Oh, that's right.
On Monona Terrace. And I had seen his work before online, and he was there. And I was like, oh, cool, he's here. And I just struck up a conversation with him, and we've figured out that we both went to Columbia College, which is where also Mrs. Cheddar went. All three of us went to Columbia College, Chicago. You know, he was just the sweetest, and he's great, and him and I are both chatty Cathys. Mm-hmm. You know, we both have the gift of gab, so
very much so.
You know, once we get started, I'm there. Before I know it, I'm there for an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and then after, you know, we just stayed in touch, and I've seen him at C2E2 every year, and he lives outside Chicago. We're in Madison, so a couple hours away. And we had just seen him this year at C2E2.
Yeah.
Took our little one over there to his booth, and cause our 5-year-old daughter has a few of his pieces up in her bedroom.
Yes, she loves them.
Yeah, she loves them. So I'll share some of his artwork here on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. And anyway, so we were talking at C2E2 in April, and Daryl had just kind of mentioned to me, like, hey, would you be interested in, you know, a big book collection, like hardcovers and trades, and, you know, I need to make some room in my studio, and is that something you'd be interested in? I'm like, yeah, definitely. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on what it is. You know, and he's like, oh, they're like mostly Marvel Masterworks, DC Archives, art books. I'm like, yeah, definitely. I think it was like 18 lawns and like 7 magazine shorts or something like that. It
sounds about right.
It was about like 25, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I drive a 2010 Toyota Prius with a hatchback. So I can fit a good amount.
People are always shocked at how much you can fit in that thing.
When I was vendoring in the beginning of Cheddar, I think I had it down to like I could fit like 30 boxes.
I thought it was 35.
35 boxes.
Yeah.
So I can get them in there.
Absolutely.
I cannot see out my back window.
But you get them in there.
They're in there.
They're in there.
Yeah, I can fill a booth. So, you know, kind of figuring, I'm like, oh my God, because some of them stick out from the top of the box, like these omnibuses.
We did have
they stick out from the top, so you can't put a lid on it and damage it and put another huge heavy long box on top.
Right.
So you had like a bunch of them that you couldn't put tops on, which hurt the storage transfer part.
It did.
So we kind of figured out like, well, we'll have to take 2 cars, you know, to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And fill up my Prius with some, and Mrs. Cheddar take whatever was left and get that in hers. And so we drove, and we met Daryl and saw his studio, which was cool. And
we had to get the books in though before it started raining.
Of course, yeah.
So it was like a mad dash to get them into the vehicles.
Yeah, we had like, it was raining, and it was following us the whole drive. We would like leave a little bit. We'd have to stop and let the little one go to the bathroom or get a little bite to eat, and then it would catch up to us, and we'd have to race away from it.
We get there, it starts to rain. The first couple boxes come out, and all I hear is like, the books.
Yeah,
the books. Not the books. Get them in the car. Like, okay, I'm coming.
Yeah. So, you know, what was cool when I bought the books, and because of the rain, normally I would like just thumb through them to get an idea, but you know, I trusted him, and he told me what they were, and we got them home. And then once I got them home, then I got an idea the last few days processing the collection, like what they really were. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of DC archive editions, which would, you know, Silver Age Flash or Enemy Ace or Steve Ditko stuff, or, you know, the Marvel omnibuses or the Marvel Masterworks, but then also just trade paperback stories of Thor and Walt Simonson. And, you know, you could see what was cool about it is you could see Daryl's interests. You know, he was really about certain creators. Like he has a lot of Steve Ditko. Mm-hmm. Steve Ditko trades, hardcovers, art books of him. Jack Kirby. If you look at Daryl's artwork, I think it's safe to say Kirby is his biggest influence.
Very much reflected in his art.
So there was a lot of Kirby books. There was a lot of John Romita, John Byrne, those kind of guys. I mean, just some of the great artists of the 70s and 60s, 70s, and 80s. I don't want to speak for Daryl, but you know, you could see maybe a source of inspiration or a reflection of his tastes, you know, through it, which was really cool to see. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it I've never seen. So a lot of the trades are oddball, you know, Thor number 18, the Galactic Battle, or, The omnibuses. I mean, you and I don't have any.
We don't have any
omnibuses on our shelves. So those were really cool to see.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorites that you saw that I showed you or thumbed through?
I really liked seeing the Spider-Man.
Oh, the Amazing Fantasy one?
Yeah, that was really
that one's
cool.
cool. Big omnibus. It was like Amazing Fantasies on the cover, and I think it's the first, it's Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 38.
Yeah.
And it was factory sealed. Some of these Daryl never even opened.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
That one was really pretty. And
yeah.
There you have I don't know if it's a book, the Vampirella.
Oh, yeah.
That one was really cool.
Our friend Whatcast just asked me about that.
Oh, did he really?
He's like, whoa, look at that. I'm like, I should have hit you up. I'm going to hit you up about it. Yeah.
I really liked that one. And then
a lot of cool art books.
All the I don't know if they're called Masterworks.
Yeah, Marvel Masterworks.
Yeah.
Hardcovers.
Those are always fun to flip through.
Yeah.
Because you get to see all the old comics in order.
Yes.
Like telling the story. Because I don't typically see it. It's always one issue.
Yeah.
It's like,
sure.
Here's this one issue
first Ghost Rider.
of Secret Wars 8.
Absolutely.
It's like, so that's always fun to flip through and see.
Definitely.
It just telling the whole story.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. So it's cool for these kind of collections for me as a buyer and a seller because I get to buy these collections. And I learned it from Froggy Flips. If you guys have ever seen him on YouTube, which we've watched a bunch of.
Oh, yes.
He would buy something like a small, let's say, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of an example, Green Army Men, because he does toys, if you don't know him. I don't know anything about Green Army Men. I'll buy these really cheap at the flea market and I'll use it as a study tool to educate myself because I have to go into the research, and try to figure out what makes these valuable or not. Mm-hmm. Right. So this is kind of what I was hoping to use this for and get kind of a feel for what's worth something, what's not, what's good, what's cold.
It's always a good learning experience.
Yeah. Using it as an expansive learning experience. And I've pretty much learned that omnibuses are dependent on the storyline it's telling. It can be an omnibus of a okay era of X-Men and it doesn't really sell well, but if it's Uncanny X-Men, starts in the beginning of the Claremont run, it's highly desirable.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And then there's other ones where it's okay.
Not much.
Yeah. And then there's the Fantastic Four ones because Daryl loves the Fantastic Four. So he had all the omnibuses. And the one that was worth the most was the one that has the first Silver Surfer and Galactus story in it.
Oh, okay.
But it also has first Inhumans and first Black Panther and first Black Bolt. And
highly desirable.
It's just a great run of FF.
Yeah.
So that kind of raises the price on it.
Well, that makes sense.
So it seems directly correlated
to what's in it.
So anyways, it's been cool to get education on trades and books and hardcovers, and what I learned is that they're all different.
I wouldn't think that.
Me either.
Honestly.
I showed you that one Thor.
Yep.
That Thor trade paperback.
Yes.
I forgot what it was. I'll try to get a picture of it, but I was like, oh, okay, it's Thor number 18 trade paperback, and I look it up, and the one before it was worth 25, and the one before that was worth 60, and then this one was worth 130.
It's why?
I'm like, why? Oh, it's the story. It's just highly desirable, and it's been out of print, or they never printed it again, that kind of thing.
The out of print thing makes sense, of course.
Yeah.
Why it would be more.
And it's cool because collections like this only exist because the comic industry pivoted and changed in the 80s, which is a perfect segue for our moment in comic book history. This is a moment in comic history. Marvel and DC created trade paperbacks, and it accidentally changed comics forever. Because for decades, comic books were basically designed to disappear. Comic books were printed on cheap paper, sold at grocery stores and spinner racks, and once they were gone, that was it. In the 1960s, Marvel started running into a problem. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the X-Men. These stories continued month after month, and readers suddenly wanted access to older issues they had missed. So Marvel started experimenting with paperback comic collections. And weirdly enough, one of the inspirations was actually Mad magazine. Mad paperback collections were selling really well in bookstores. Marvel basically thought, wait a minute, maybe comic stories can sell outside newsstands too. And eventually Marvel struck gold with the Fireside Books line through Simon & Schuster. Books like Origins of Marvel Comics became huge hits, and for the first time comic stories started escaping the spinner racks and entering bookstores. And once Marvel saw it worked, DC followed. But the real turning point came in 1986 with The Dark Knight Returns. When DC collected Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns into trade paperback, it became a massive success. And suddenly, publishers realized something huge, that these stories don't have to sell just once, and they can stay in print forever. And there's actually a famous example involving Watchmen. When Alan Moore signed his Watchmen contract with DC Comics, the deal said the rights would revert back to him once the book went out of print. And at the time, that sounded completely reasonable, because comic collections were not expected to stay in print forever. But when The Dark Knight Returns exploded, Watchmen got collected too, and it never went out of print. And that completely changed the comic industry, because publishers realized they weren't just selling monthly comics anymore, they were building permanent comic book libraries. And that's today's moment in comic book history.
That's very cool.
Did you know any of that?
I didn't know any of that. No.
Really?
No, of course not.
I don't
fucking know
I don't
anything.
know. Maybe you did.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I take them for granted because I would go to Barnes & Noble and I would see them on display. And
Yes, for sure. In our lifetime.
They always look, they do such a good job with like how they present them and like the artwork that they put on the front, that they always look just very pretty, and you just like want to like buy them. But yeah, so I took them for granted. Yeah,
I mean, it's, you know, because you said it last week for the Golden Age collection, you know, like for so many decades they were essentially on the same level as newspapers.
Right.
Why would you keep a newspaper? You know, why would you keep a comic book? I mean, they were, or a magazine. I mean, they were just so disposable. You know, so, you know, they sold 80 million copies. Well, we don't have 80 million Golden Age books floating around.
Right.
And they're thrown away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then for that stuff too, and it made sense, like, you know, you're reading Amazing Spider-Man, and it's or Fantastic Four is even a better example, like a continuous story, you know, month after month, not a standalone issue.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I got 38 and I got 39, I missed 40 and I got 41 and 42. Like, you're SOL.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
No.
So there was some networks of collectors or some magazines, or, you know, where you could try to order a back issue or something, like some New York store might have back stock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for the most part, they shipped them back to Marvel to get their refunds, or would take the title off and get it back to get their refunds for stuff that didn't sell. And they kind of like, they played with the idea, you know, they made Marvel Tales, you know, which you've seen a bunch of. We've had them a bunch.
I've seen it. I don't know really what it is.
They're just reprinting Spider-Man issues.
Oh, is that what it is?
But they didn't do it, you know, they didn't do it in order.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Why?
They'll do number, you know, whatever, number 100 of Marvel Tales is actually number 15 of Spider-Man, and 101 is actually 200 of Spider-Man, and they would just do it like that.
I see.
So then they kind of figured out from that maybe we could actually reprint old stuff, and it's people are buying the old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have here in my PC, this Bring on the Bad Guys is one of the early ones talked about in the... That's the part that I wrote there, the Simon & Schuster books. This is the second one, I think, that they did. And it's actually in a book. I mean, it looks like a book, right?
Oh, definitely.
And then if you open it up... see?
I forgot that it looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like a book on the outside, like that Simon & Schuster would print, you know? And then it's like got some, you know, bad guy issues... supervillain stuff, you know, they'll have Stan write the opener, and this was a part of that Simon & Schuster line that they started experimenting with. So they did a few of these books, and it's, if you look in there, it's like one issue of Doctor Doom, one issue of Green Goblin. It's still not how you think of trades and hardcovers.
No, definitely not.
So they kind of like played with that, and
seems more like an essay book or something.
That's what you'd think it is.
Yeah.
And you open it up and it's like what you would see a trade or hardcover be.
Weird. But
it's still not what you would what we're used to. This is absolute Batman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So they did I don't know, a half a dozen of these over the years. Like this is from the 70s.
Okay.
And then it was kind of interesting to see too the history of him making the leap from the spinner rack at the grocery store or the newsstand on the streets to the bookstore. Like, hey, there's a whole other market over there.
Right.
Where we could make some more money off the same stuff we already have.
Do you know what the first trade was?
So that's what I had. That's a good question, because that's what I want. That was my starting point for this segment.
Oh.
Is I was like, I had, because I'm using the Tales from the Sales to, if I can, it won't be like that next week, but to have that tell me what the history segment is. And I was going to say, my starting question was, what was the first trade paperback? And it's very murky.
Oh, is it?
Because is this Bring on the Bad Guys considered a trade?
Yeah, is it?
Well, it's not a sequential. You know what I mean? It's issues pulled from different titles.
Right.
So it's got a Fantastic Four. It's got a Captain America. It's got an amazing.
I would say no then.
So then no. So then they did. Would you consider Marvel Tales? Well, it's like, well, no, those aren't it. There was one. The one that was what you and I would think of as a trade, which is like a sequential story reprinted in a book form, a trade form, was 1984 for Marvel. And they did, I think it was the Phoenix Saga.
Oh. And
they put a new cover on it by Sienkiewicz, which you've seen the artwork for. And that one was a success. And then they did it again for an Iron Man book, I think in 85. So like a year later, they did it again, and they put a couple issues together. And that was like kind of the first time, like 84, 85. But it was like, when you hear it, it's a year apart. And then so they kind of were the first ones to do it, but it's really DC, and it's Dark Knight Returns. That's this huge right turn. That two step of Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen, completely it's game over after that. Because Dark Knight Returns was so popular and so a seismic shift in the industry. And you remember the Comic Values magazine we had from 91 where it was trading for $50.
Oh, yeah.
And it was only 5 years old. So, I mean, people were just so hungry for it. And it was so great when they put it in their first trade. It was just selling like hotcakes.
Really smart.
To
kind of just do that one first.
So from what I could gather, because you've heard the Watchmen story, because you're an Alan Moore girl.
Yeah.
That's why he hates DC and he got screwed out of the Watchmen deal.
100%.
But it makes sense when you hear the history, because he probably signed that and was working on Watchmen for years.
Yeah.
So he signed that when that wasn't a thing.
Right.
It literally became a thing the year before Watchmen came out in 87.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I had always heard that deal, I'm like, they fucked him.
Yeah.
DC fucked him.
Not really.
And it's like, they didn't actually know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't blame him for not knowing.
The whole industry kind of changed and he got caught up in it.
Right.
That
sucks.
I mean, they still
fucked him. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not defending
them, but you can't say they didn't know at the time.
But when you hear the history, to you and me who have grown up with trades, and you hear that, you're like, yeah, they totally fucked them.
Yeah, I mean,
but it actually just kind of the seismic shift in the industry.
Yeah.
And then so these two are the ones who really changed it and became popular. And it was after this, that was the norm. And then I think in the late 80s, they started Marvel Masterworks that we have some.
Oh, okay.
And that's when they really started reprinting the old stuff in formatted things. And
I like those.
Was putting that stories together.
Yeah.
And then after the late 80s, it's the total norm.
I remember, I don't know why I remember this suddenly, but the first trade that I read was Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember that because my family made fun of me about it.
Oh, that's so nice.
Typical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that, and I remember just loving it. And I loved the idea that you could take this story with me because I was traveling at the time.
Sure.
And I didn't have to bring a bunch of like issues with me.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, obviously you introduced me to that because it was your trade that I took with me.
Oh, was this in college?
No.
Oh, you mean when we were together? Like
yeah.
dating? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here, take this one. You'll love it.
Yeah, exactly. It was
I gotcha.
like, I'm going to see my family. Can I have something to like travel with?
Oh, you should read this.
Oh, read this one. And then after that, it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like V, which is a great like, paperback or softcover.
Well, this is a great transition from comic history into our new segment, Collector Corner with Mr. and Mrs. Cheddar.
Hey.
This is Collector's Corner with Mr. and Mrs. Cheddar.
This is our new segment. This is Collector's Corner with Mr. and Mrs. Cheddar.
Hey-o.
Doo-doo-doo. Some little doo-doo-doo. Something like that.
Sure.
I don't even need to find the sound. I just made it on the mic. So what we found interesting, and I find interesting, and I want to hear from you. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, you can definitely leave a comment. Mm-hmm. And I want to know, how do you read your comics? Because when we were going through this stuff, I figured out there's so many different ways for us to enjoy the medium of comic books. You can be a singles person. Mm-hmm. You can be a singles person. You can be a Wednesday new comic book day person. You can be a trade and hardcover person. You can wait till there's an omnibus. You can read them digitally on your iPad or phone. I mean, there's so many different ways, I guess you could say that about other art forms. I can watch a movie at the theater. I can watch a movie on DVD. I can, watch it on my phone.
Yeah, sure.
Or music. I can listen to a vinyl or a CD, or I can
like all the other art forms.
Go to a live concert or something. So
yeah.
I wanted to have us talk about it because we're kind of the same, and for me, my personal preference has always been trades and hardcovers to read. I collect single issues, though that's the majority of my collection, my comic collection. But for reading, my personal preference has always been trades or hardcovers. What about you? Do you like single issues?
I do not like single. I mean,
you can say it. No one's going to get it. Everyone's different.
No, for sure. I mean, I prefer graphic or book form. And why is it?
What do you like about that format?
I like being able to sit down and read the whole story from start to finish.
Yes.
And if it's really good, I don't like waiting.
Yeah, sure.
So like with the Absolute Wonder Womans, I have only so many single issues because I didn't go to the comic book store all the time, so I'd miss all my issues.
Yeah.
So, and I love the story though, so it's just like, okay, well, for Christmas I'm gonna ask for the trades, or the hardcovers.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting and reading it from start to finish, and I just love it.
Which is cool.
Yeah. So because I like being immersed
for a while. You like to sit down and be with it.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm along the same lines. I just have a bad memory with, for single issues. My experience is I have a couple things against reading single issues. So again, what do I buy versus what I read? Mm-hmm. I buy single issues. Like I buy, vintage comics for my PC. What do I read? I read trades and hardcovers because I'm a bad reader. I have difficulty reading. So whether that's some type of ADHD adjacent neurological thing or whatever, I have some problems reading it. And I also have some problems remembering everything. So for a single issue, for me personally and how my brain works, if I go, we'll keep it modern with Absolute Batman. I go and I buy Absolute Batman, I come home, I read it, and I have to wait a month to find out what 2 is. I have a hard time remembering what was happening in 1 4 weeks later. And then I have it again when I read 2 and I remember, oh yeah, that. And then what's going to happen in 3? I got to wait a month, and I have a lot of problems remembering exactly to follow the story thread.
Sure.
So for me personally, and the way my brain works, it's easier for me to just sit down with the trade or with the hardcover, read it in one session or 2, one day, next day, even if it's the same week, that's easier.
Absolutely.
Than, 6 months, reading the same 6 issues.
Absolutely.
And I get to get through it and see. And then 2, my other thing, when I was younger and I had a lot less money, my problem was finding out if I had to buy it to find out if it was good. So, maybe when I was younger, maybe they were $2.99 or something.
Yeah.
And I'll buy 5 issues and I start reading 1. I'm like, oh, this isn't that great, and then I read 2 and I'm like, this really isn't that good. Or 3, I'm like, wow, I just spent $15 and it's no good,
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to let our Wednesday friends go into the trenches, first front line.
Yeah.
You tell me what's good.
Yes.
Oh, is that good? Oh, you like Mark Spears Monsters? Okay, I'll check that out. Oh, I've been hearing a lot about that.
Yeah.
And then I'll check it out.
Definitely. Same.
And even though I have a little bit more income now, I'm still not gonna.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to go to a Wednesday store. It's just not my thing. It's my personal preference. I love that other people love it because I love anybody that's going to the comic book store.
Of course.
And buying the new stuff and telling everybody what else is good and, everything.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people like the Wednesday comic shop culture.
Of course.
It's your third spot. Everybody needs home, work, and a third spot. So for a lot of people, the comic book store is their third place.
Oh, I never thought of it like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So you get the anticipation, you get the reading month to month, you get, the nostalgia of the floppies, you get to bag and boredom, you put them away, and
there's also the social aspect attached to it.
Well, exactly. That's the best part of the comic book store. Because when I worked in a comic book store, we knew we were always battling online sales. So you want to come in and talk to me, guy behind the counter. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Hey, man, how are you doing? Here's your books I got for you. Yeah. Hey, did you read anything good this week? Oh, yeah, I just read Saga. It's like the best shit ever. You're going to love it. You should definitely check it out. And you get that personal human connection, which is coming back now. Gen Z is, what did I say today? Digital minimalism and
right.
What is it? Physical maximism. I think that's the article was called.
Yeah.
So they're rejecting the digital world and they want more things physical. So, which I think is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're, for us on our movie side, we're big physical media people. We
yes.
buy every movie we like.
Absolutely.
Because we're not going to let Bezos take it off of Amazon after we've licensed it for $20.
Fuck that.
So. Yeah, so I understand why people like Wednesday. It's to each his own, and I think it's great that there's so many different ways to enjoy comics. But again, going back to why, we like trades and hardcovers. The bookshelf appeal is a nice thing.
I love the bookshelf appeal. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
No, you're a big book girl, so that whole shelf behind you is all your books.
And then I have books downstairs because we can't fit all the books up here.
Yeah.
So,
but this bookshelf, you like looking at.
I love looking at it, and
yeah, there is that appeal to trades and hardcovers.
Yeah, very much so. And they do such a good job designing them.
Yeah, especially
they're so
with
pretty
these,
to look at.
With these omnibuses, which I've never had. It's like, wow, you can really read what that is.
I love how they design these.
The omnibuses?
Or
I mean everything, but especially these.
Yeah, these specifically. But
show them the spine.
But also the...
Yes, how cool is that? They took the art from Sensation 1
and put it right on the spine.
Yeah.
And so you get to look at that every day.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yes, I love that.
And then also like with, even some of the traits, I mean,
yeah,
I know they're smaller, but you've got these great colors and it makes it pop off the shelf and got all these, it's always just fun to look at.
Yeah.
And you feel the connection which I just love every day.
And, a couple other positives that I like about trades and hardcovers, again, I feel like every episode we're talking about how poor we've always been, but, that's
Well,
what
that
the truth is. And, for a long time, I couldn't afford to even buy a $40, $50 hardcover or something.
no.
So I would utilize the library wherever we lived.
Mm-hmm.
The library system is the best way to read and enjoy the art form. And for so many places here in Madison, they have a great network of all the towns in the county.
They sure do.
And you can send in, like, maybe mine doesn't have Watchmen, but the other one out in Cross Plains will, and they'll send it in and I can go pick it up.
Yep.
And it's a great way to read through stuff for classic stuff you've missed, or maybe I don't want to read, I want to read Invincible someday. I've never read it. I know that's like saying you've never seen Star Wars. I haven't read it yet. It's nice to have some good stuff out there still waiting.
Definitely.
And I'll probably, even if I, have some money, I'll probably want to check out the library one first.
Test the waters.
See if I like it.
Make sure you like it.
And it's also a positive I'll say for trades and hardcover, way easier to recommend something to a new reader.
Yeah.
So a new reader is not going to want to go to, they might want to go to the comic book store. Let's say they saw Spider-Man, No Way Home or something. I want to get into Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
It might be easier to send them to the store, whether it's Barnes and Noble or hopefully it's the comic book store.
Yeah.
And say, you pick up, Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt. Maybe you'll like that. Or, check out the Ramita run of Spider-Man. Buy that trade.
Yeah, for
Instead of saying, like, go get Spider-Man issue 627 through 630. You're going to love those. It might be a little...
That's tough.
For a lot of people, when I worked there, it's very intimidating.
Yes.
And it feels like an infinite pool of, like, you just don't know where to start.
No, you're very overwhelmed.
I would constantly have people coming in. It's my nephew's birthday. He likes Captain America. He just saw the movies. What would you recommend?
Oh.
Because I have no idea what to even get him.
Right.
And I would ask a few questions, and
thank goodness for the trades.
I would normally point them to that. I'm not,
of course. Makes a good gift.
Yeah.
Too.
So that's some other things that are cool about trades and hardcovers,
Yeah.
Then there's the new thing for me and Mrs. Cheddar which we've never had, are from Daryl's collection. Circle back to that. Are these omnibuses?
Huge.
Which I've heard of and I've seen them, but we've never had any. And this is our we're keeping a couple books for ourselves from Daryl's collection. Mrs. Cheddar is keeping Golden Age Wonder Woman Omnibus Volume 1 because she's a Wonder Woman freak. And Daryl had this great Uncanny X-Men #1 omnibus, which has giant size X-Men and X-Men 94 through like 131, like the best run of comics ever. So it's cool to have. The thing I like about the omnibus is I don't have to buy 6 hardcovers or however many this would be. I don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be 6.
Wow.
And which is what I would normally do. And I'm like, I could just kind of give up. So you can kind of see what is the appeal about the omnibuses, especially if you like a specific run. We have another one over there. It's the Todd McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run.
Oh, yes. That one's very pretty, too.
Oh, cool,
Beautiful art on the front.
We got that Howard the Duck. First 3 appearances, every Howard the Duck issue, if you love Howard the Duck, know. So it is kind of, and again, to Mrs. Cheddar's point, with her, especially these DC ones do a better job.
This one's very cool because it's not like the whole runs or anything, but it's the Wonder Woman Golden Age Omnibus, and it has All-Star Comics #8.
Yeah, they took her first appearance out of there.
Comic Cavalade 1 through 5, Sensation Comics 1 through 24, and Wonder Woman 1 through 7. I mean, those are all the ones I want to read.
Well, perfect.
So it's like, shit, yeah.
Yeah, and
we figured it out.
Yeah, it's cool how they did that.
Yeah,
because I kept this Batman one, Golden Age Batman Omnibus one. Again, a beautiful spine. With the Detective 27, his first appearance there. And it's the same thing where it's like the early detective and it's got Batman #1 with first Joker and Catwoman and stuff. And it just looks great on the shelf. And, maybe we're keeping more than we're ever going to be able to read, but
maybe,
it's also cool to, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this summer?
Yep.
I'm going to read Claremont X-Men.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm going to read 60 issues of that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, I would be interested to hear, other people's reading preferences, and kind of get a feel for what's more popular, singles or hardcovers, omnibus, digital. I don't know how popular digital is.
Yeah.
I know that they have a subscription service for that, like Marvel does.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I almost never hear.
I tried that. I didn't like it.
I did too. I didn't like it.
That
was my least favorite.
I'm not a digital reader though.
No, I don't
like
I
books or anything.
No, I can't read digital.
No.
So, we just thought with the collection coming in and then learning the comic history that, wow, there's actually like a lot of different formats. And,
there are.
What's your preference? What do you like? Do you do single issues, trades, hardcovers?
Are there some we didn't mention?
Yeah, is there something I missed? A favorite book format, or what's your favorite hardcover? Comment below or shoot me a message. Let me know what you think, and we'd love to hear from you guys. So that's it for us today in episode 12 of the Cheddarverse. We hope you enjoyed the book episode. It kind of ended up being, hey?
Yeah, it definitely did.
Which is cool.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, super fun. I love learning about it and thinking about all the different ways you can read. And
yeah, there's so many different formats.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
It's just a cool way, though, to put together literature and artwork. And
yeah,
I'll eat that shit
just
up.
Just a great way to consume the greatest American art form.
Absolutely.
Comic books. So we thank you guys for listening. Again, be sure, please leave us a review if you're listening on an Apple Podcast. We just got review bombed. We got a hater. He left us 2 stars. He tells us we're no good. We don't know what we're doing. So if you like the show, please take the time on Apple Podcasts to leave us a 5-star review. We would so appreciate it. Please. We can't get this guy out of our head.
Yeah.
So we would love to hear something new on there.
Yeah.
And if you're on YouTube, make sure to sub, like, follow, all that stuff. And if you're on Spotify, make sure to be following and rate us on there as well. And we've got if you're listening to this book sale is actually upcoming. It's actually ahead. Mm-hmm. So this is Monday. And then it's happening on Wednesday and Thursday on Instagram, the book sale. It's a 2-night event because there's so much. So be sure to follow me, Chris, at Cheddar Comics, at Cheddar_Comics on Instagram for that live sale, 2-night event book sale.
It's going to be sweet.
It's going to be fun. And again, make sure to follow Mrs. Cheddar on Instagram at Mrs. Cheddar_Comics. And we will be back next week for episode 13. Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Cool.
And we thank you guys. We love you. We appreciate you
so much.
And be sure to tune in next week. Same Cheddar time, same Cheddar channel. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
This has been a Cheddar Comics podcast. Tune in next week for another episode.